could never pronounce your name correctly. But so congratulations to you for your great achievement. Okay. And we also feel proud for you at the same time. Please go ahead in your career. Please progress and always keep us in mind that we had also a little bit of contribution in your life as well.
Yeah. No, yeah, thank you. But your contribution has not been little. It has been very, very great and instrumental. Because more than anything, like part of the cloud computing and the DevOps training that you guys offer, part of the reasons why I'm here, because it's one thing to be a full stack developer, but it's another when you're a full stack developer and you have these skills that you guys are offering, and it's been very beneficial.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. So, I mean, that is a really, that gives a lot of motivation to us, you know. Thanks, Ernst. Okay. So for the rest of the, I mean, I'm going to start my DevOps session today. It is a continuation of the Ansible part.
So I sorry,
Yeah.
Mr. Debasis.
Yeah.
Before you jump in, Ernest, uh, we just it was mainly you, and it feel you don't believe how we feel about your success. You crossed a mountain kind
Adios,
of,
amigo. Powering on.
so you don't it feels so happy that some of our people, they got CTO positions of a company. We really feel like, very happy for you, and very many congratulations to your success. I will ping you in your chat. Uh, I think next week in middle. Okay. So again, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Mann. Thank you, Mr. Devashish.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So let me start. I think the recording is on. Let me check. Yeah, the recording is on, and I can share my screen. Before that, let me. Uh, I will go through the Ansible. It is the second session on Ansible. So I could not complete Ansible completely in the first session. That is the earlier session. So I will continue with that. Before that, I will share my. So just 1 minute. So what I will do is I will go back here and share my screen. So are you being able to see the screen? Please let me know.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Okay. Great. So we were discussing about Ansible. Okay. Like after you have built your house, which is through your Terraform, I will have a very simple demonstration today with including Terraform and Ansible. But let me first complete my slides so that you have a bit of understanding. You have already built your understanding the previous day. I will complete on that, and then we will go to our uh, demo. So after you have built your house, you are trying to make the interior decoration of the house. And that is where the Ansible pitches in, right? And we have seen that what you do is you are coding the configuration over the resource that you have built in. Like I will build a resource which is an EC2 instance, and on that EC2 instance, that was provisioned through Terraform. And from that, I am going to upgrade or install or remove or configure any application or any software over that particular server. Like few moments back, Mr. Karthik was explaining about web servers and how do you get in touch with that. But before that, uh, you start using the application, you have to create that environment. Okay, so you have to have a server built in, you have to put in the softwares, configure those softwares, configure the users, install the, I mean, the patches. Okay, configure the environment for it, and so many activities are there. All that will be done through your Ansible. So out so Ansible is very simple if you think so, that you are creating a playbook, you are writing a code, okay, and in that code what you do is you will put in some instructions. These are declarative. These are all very declarative. You don't have to code in Python or in Java or in any other language. These are very simple code, and these are called declarative scripts. What you say about declarative? It is what you desire, and what you desire is through a question called what. Do not ask how. How is not to be asked. What is you desire? If you want to you want to do something, you desire it, and therefore declare it in a script. Okay, that is Ansible script written in YAML. We have discussed about YAML at length in our previous session. Okay, so it is a template, it is a format how you write your script, okay, in a certain pattern using JSON. Okay, and JSON is nothing but a key value pair. Now, if you look at this script, this is a playbook that you have written. This is the YAML script. Okay, and you have started with the three dashes. Okay, this is a single play. So you have given this name. These are the declarations that you are doing through the keys. These are the keys. These are the keys. And what is this? Can anybody tell me? Say you are giving a name of a play, and the play name is a simple play. So what will you say in when you talk about JSON?
The value.
Yes, exactly, the value. Because you have the key which defines the value or references the value. So you say the name of the playbook, name of the play is, this is the whole playbook. The name of the play is a simple play. That is one value. So similarly, you are declaring the host. Now today, I will definitely go through one demo through which you will understand what do I mean by this, and where are you going to look for this particular value. This is the value. So where are you going to look for this value? We have seen few components or some objects of Ansible. One of them is inventory. What is the other one? Other one is module, right? The other one is plugins. Okay, so these and you make an API call through the plugins to the hosts. Now, inventory is a place where you will store the host configuration or the host details through which you are going to be connected. Okay. Similarly, you are a user. You are saying what type of user I am. You say, I want to become what? I want to become yes. This is another key, another value. So what is the method that you want to become? Is the sudo. What is sudo? Super user. Who is the super user of any system? Privilege. Who is the super user of any system? I mean, say you are having a host.
Is it root?
Okay, this is the server. This is the host. Both are, let's say, Linux machines. and both are having Ubuntu as an operating system. So, who are the super users onto all of these machines? Anyone? Super user who has the extreme
I,
privilege.
I think it is a root.
Yes, of course, the root. This is also root. So root is the default user, which is having the super admin privilege. And who is the secondary user by default on a Ubuntu machine, Ubuntu Linux machine?
It's Ubuntu.
It is Ubuntu. Now, generally, you will never connect with a root user, right? That is the bottom line. That is the thumb rule. You say that is a thumb rule. You can never ever log in as a root. It is only one person in that organization. In that organization, there is only one person. Who is that person who can be given the root privilege or root user access? Who would be the admin, the system administrator? But we, as a DevOps guy, will never be an admin. You can be an admin, but for that, you may need 7 to 8 years or 7 to 10 years of experience or working continuously in an organization. You will be promoted as an admin because of your good activity or expert things that you are doing. And you are really very reliable. So you would be given the root privilege. But I'm talking in general, we will be logging into any system as an Ubuntu user. Is that clear for everyone? An Ubuntu user doesn't have all the root privileges, but when you confer that you say that I want to become a root user, I want to become yes with the privilege of sudo, then I will be promoting. I means Ubuntu. Ubuntu user will be promoted to root user. Is that clear? So you become user as root. So these are, you can say, the Ansible clauses, Ansible keywords that you are making as the key values or key value pair. So you say, I would like to become a user by promoting by Ubuntu user as my, so that remote user is nothing but, let's say, that is a general term. I'm saying specifically Ubuntu. So that Ubuntu will be promoted to the root user. Is that fine? Then I'm coming to the tasks. And when you say uh, this is a particular task, you start with an array notation. This is dash. Dash means an array. Array, anyone, what is the meaning of array? You must have heard the term array. Array is nothing but a collection object. So you say, I have multiple tasks. One of the tasks is, this is the first task, this is the second task. And what is the task? You define this as a service. So you are saying that I would like to have a software that is HTTPD, which is enabled, which will be installed. And if it is installed and it will be enabled, I'm just making it enabled. That is my task. And I am also having a second task that I will make the SSHD service enabled. That is, it will be restarted. Every time the machine boots, auto, or if the system has HTTPD, HTTP is nothing but the Apache server, web server. So if that is so, you will enable it. That means every time you boot in, automatically the Apache service will be started on. So these are nothing but you declare, you desire these things to be done whenever you log in or you go into that particular host. Any questions? So these are the configurations that you are doing. These are not actually provisioning. Provisioning part you have already done in Terraform. Any questions that you might have? Am I still visible, and is my screen already visible, or I mean still visible?
Yes, visible and you're still audible, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you. So let me proceed to the next slide. Mm, so if you can do one play, you can have multiple play, because playbook is a collection of multiple plays. You can say that I can have only one play, that's fine. But you can use a playbook to define multiple plays. Why do you have multiple plays? Because you want to organize the plays. You don't want to club it every task within one play. It is not desirable. So you organize the task inside the plays, and you organize the plays within the playbook. That is how you modularize your activity, your tasks. So exactly what you do as a first play, some different tasks, and then you can define another play, and that is called you have defined multiple plays within one playbook. Can you see it is connecting to different hosts? So in the first play, you are connecting to a web.example.com host, and the next one you are connecting to a database example.com. We will see a demo. Uh, what I can do, I can make it a bit bigger. Yeah. So the playbook commands, when you say the playbook commands, there is a very important command is your Ansible playbook. This is the command. This is the parameter. That is whatever the playbook that you want to play or you want to execute. This is the command which you are making an instruction to execute the playbook. So what is the command? The command is Ansible playbook and Ansible dash playbook, playbook.yaml. That is the YAML file that you have designed or declared or created the script. First of all, you check the syntax check, because you want to be correct syntactically with the playbook. Then the next one is you want to actually execute now. Execute the playbook. So you will run the playbook. You are checking the syntax. And if you have an inventory file which is different from the hosts, because we have seen that by default you have under etc under Ansible, the host file is your default inventory. This is your default inventory file. Okay. This is your default inventory file. So you are mentioning that while you are running this command, you are giving identify the file -i inventory, because you are not using the host file as your inventory file. So you are mentioning that inventory. You can name it anything. And then you are saying what is your playbook. If your host is not the default inventory that you are using, you are running the playbook with the custom inventory file. And this is for the debugging. If you want to debug, something is going wrong and you want to make the debugging on, you will say step. But this is only when you have a big, very big playbook. Generally, we will not write big playbooks. We will organize them into smaller roles. We will break this a big, if it is, because if it is big, what is the problem? The problem is it can become very complex. So I will break it as smaller modules. How? We will use Ansible roles. Okay. So each of this will call, there is from the playbook, I will call the role, but I do not have much scope in this session, in this, internship session to discuss about roles much. But what is that? You have created, say, 5 roles, role 1, role 2, role 3. And basically you are organizing the tasks within, basically the roles are created to organize the playbook. So the playbook becomes small and you divide the task within the roles, role 3, role 4, and role 5. You see, then you can use one single playbook, a small playbook. You want to execute a task from this role 3, you call this role 3. That's all. Or the role 2, or the role 1, or role 4, or role 5. So that way, you can customize. You do not need to call all the roles together. You just use a simple playbook and call the role, because these roles are objects stored within Ansible with, with some particular task. So there can be so many common tasks, like a common task, like you have 5 hosts or scattered all over the world, and you want to install Java, the same version of Java in every of those. So let's say the role 3 has a defined set of tasks which will install Java. Okay, so you design a small playbook, and this playbook you will call this role 3. That role 3 will have those tasks defined which will install those, the task of Java, and all over the thing. So to do that, you will call that inventory, and that inventory will get you connected over all to these hosts. And after they have been connected, you will be just installing the Java software compiler on all of this stuff. So in that case, I will call the role 3, because I do not need to call role 2, because role 2 may be having a different task. So why do I need to do all these tasks inside one big and complex thing? I can do. There's nobody can stop me doing that. But that is not a good programming practice. Okay. You split it up in roles. That is the function of roles. So if I want to install a web server, and which is defined with the role 2, I will create another simple playbook where it will call role 2, and the role 2 will install Ansible, Apache server in all these servers. Okay. Am I able to make this point clear? So if suppose you are not breaking up through roles, you are clubbing it all over into one place in one big and complex playbook, then sometimes you may get some errors, and you want to debug the errors so you can execute the playbook, but in steps. In that case, you need to use the step, otherwise not. If you are writing a small playbook, you can easily debug it. So no need to go by steps. Okay, is that point clear? You will understand this if you have some programming background, but it is not necessary to understand at this stage. Because as a DevOps guy, I am not purely a developer. I am not needed to be a developer. Not needed to be a developer. Yes, of course. See, many developers are learning DevOps because they need to work in a DevOps environment, in an agile projects, So it is very good if a developer can also be a DevOps guy. Otherwise, the company has to hire specialized DevOps guys, engineers. That is where you will pitch in. Because it is not possible for developers. Developers will concentrate on their field. because as it is, they are overburdened with new tools every now and then, new programming language, new technology always coming up, and so they are kept busy. They will not be able to concentrate on this domain much. So this is a specialty field, specialty subject. That's why your role is cut out. You are a DevOps guy. You need to know your DevOps tools better than the developers do. Okay. As I told you, uh, without modules, Ansible is not complete, because the beauty of Ansible lies in the way you will utilize the modules. There are, as I told you, there are over 750 modules that you can use. 750 plus modules. Modules are like a small programs. Modules are discrete units of code that can be used from the command line or in the playbook to make some modification on the target. Don't worry about this big definition. Modules are small programs that you will call through your playbook. So you are writing playbook, you will call modules within the playbook. I will show you today. Okay, don't worry. So you will see. But just to get an idea, these are Ansible executes each module on the remote target. So the module is like some task you want to do, but through modules. They are ready-made for you. You do not have to create your own module, ready-made. So you use them, you call them, and get your task is executed. But the task will be executed on the remote target. That is on the hosts, on the host machine. Or Ansible modules are nothing but they will call the plugins or library plugins in turn. Plugins are, you can say these are libraries, functions. So the functions are getting called through the modules. There are some important Ansible modules that are frequently used to automate. So your task is to automate different tasks. So you will take the help of modules a lot. Like these are automation. These are like you are driving an automated car or automatic car. So you do not have to change the gears. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear. You do not have to, based on the speed of the car that you want to achieve, you change the gears. But if you have an automated gear system, automatic shifting, automatic shifting, so your driving gives more pleasure. Yeah, it's debatable whether you want to drive a non-automatic car or an automatic car. Somebody feels like it is much more pleasure driving a car with gears. It depends, but I'm saying automation is giving much more easier. The ease of life you want to achieve, that is, want to make an automation. Similarly, instead of writing it from scratch, you will call the modules which will help you to automate many things at the same time. The wheels are invented. You do not need to reinvent. No need to reinvent the wheels, because the wheels are already there for you to use. So there are modules for checking the host and target node connectivity. So the ping module, I will check. We will do the ping module. Okay. We will do the ping module. We will see the setup module, which will gather the information, fetch the information from the target node. Because why we fetch the information from the target node? What is one important information that we want, our Ansible wants to know? It's a push module, right? Ansible pushes the task onto the host. This is the server, and this is the host. So in the server, you have the Ansible installed. Here, there is no Ansible. So when you push something on the thing, first thing you have to connect using SSH. So your server will connect to the host through the SSH, through the inventory. But whenever you go and check this, what is the first thing that you need to, or Ansible needs to make sure? What is the information that it needs to gather? One very important information that it needs to gather, I discussed it in the previous session. Can anybody tell me? Anyone? Otherwise, Ansible will not function. Ansible needs to make sure and gather in information whenever it tries, it connects. It will check and gather the information whether it has Python. Sorry. Whether it has Python installed or not. If Python is not installed on the host, it will not function. It will return the information that Python is not available. So you should somehow make an arrangement to install Python over here. Okay. That is one mandatory activity. So this gathering of the information is important. So there is a module to help you gather the information either through ping or setup or whenever you connect it over SSH. And then you can manage the existing package and installing new packages through yum if it is Red Hat. If it is Red Hat, what about apt when it is a Debian machine or Ubuntu machine? We will learn all these things in our Linux sessions. Package. So whenever you are not sure, this is dynamic. What you are not sure, whether on the host, whether it is a Red Hat machine or any Debian machine like Ubuntu. There are two families, Red Hat family or a Debian family. You are not very sure whether you are going to use yum or you are using apt. So you will be using package. So this package module will decide whether it has Red Hat or Debian and accordingly use either yum or apt to install packages. If you have Python and if it is something related to Python, you can use pip module. If there is the Node.js applications, you can use the npm modules. Okay, so there are various modules that you can use for installing the various applications that you need to. These are the configuration things that you need to understand and use. Then you can use your basic shell commands using raw, command, shell, or script module. Okay, there are so many modules, out of which you will see that you can use ping, setup, yum, apt key. So if you want to install some say Docker key you want to install, so you will use the apt key. You want to put in something into the repository, so you can use the apt repository. These are all modules. Package is one module, as I told you. Pip is one module. npm, shell, command, script. Copy is a very famous and very useful. You want to copy something from your local to the remote. Local means your server machine where Ansible is there, to the remote. This is the host. You want to copy a file. Similarly, you want to fetch. You want to get URL. You can use file. File can copy. File can do all sorts of file related activities. Like you are creating a file. You want to create directories. you want to delete the files, you want to delete directories, you want to create soft and hard links, hard symbolic links. These are all configuration things. You want to add, you want to modify file and the directory permissions like ch group, ch mod, modify the permissions, ch owner, you want to change the owner. All these things for a directory or a file can be done using the file module. This is the file module, very, very important. You can use Jinja templates. I will not go into that. You can use find, replace, line in file. So you want to, you know, inline commands. So you can use a line in file and you can execute multiple commands. So within the line, within inline, that is inline commands, multiple variety of commands. Otherwise, you have to use command or script or shell to execute one line of command. But when you say inline, you can have multiple commands executed in one go. Service, user, cron, you want to run some cron job, you can use the cron module, debug. These are so many things. Any question? I am not trying to learn from you whether you are learning, you are getting it or not. So Ansible roles, as I told you, it will to organize the playbook. You do not need to write complex, big playbook. So you organize them into roles. I have not much scope to let you know about roles much. Structure of an Ansible role. This makes your life easier when you learn about roles. Okay. And you are programming very structured. It is much easier to debug when you do some playbooks through roles. I can skip those. You can create an entire role structure using Ansible Galaxy. Ansible Vault. Now, just now you have learned about cyber security. Cyber security and DevSecOps go hand in hand. That means DevSecOps is whatever resources that you have created, whatever assets you have provisioned through DevOps. Because in an agile methodology or an agile life cycle, you are going to create, modify, configure so many resources over the cloud. Now, to maintain those resources over the cloud where you do not have much of the control, you need to know some security features. You have to secure your data such that it cannot be hacked. So Ansible is one of the tools where you do a lot of configuration. You can change the password. You can change the user. You can create a user with some username and the password. So where do you, or you will be using so many tokens, where will you put them in to make them protected? So many informations. You do not want to get it leaked outside. So you can use like a bank vault where you keep your secrets safe from outside intervention. You also can use Ansible Vault to keep your sensitive data. It can be your file. You can encrypt a file. Let's say you have done a script and you want to not let that script be easily available to anyone from outside. So you encrypt and create that file in an encrypted format, keep it in a vault. Apart from your passwords, tokens, or keys, you can also encrypt your file. So these are the various commands for using the vault. Now, I will start using yes, there is 1 more hour left for me. I will complete my demonstration. Like I will be configuring an Apache web server with Ansible. Okay. So I will come back and let me understand if you are fine to if we are fine to carry on with our demo. Are you interested? If you are not, then I will not. If you are interested, I will definitely.
Yes, you can proceed, sir. You can proceed.
Yes, yes. So what I will do, I will go to my. Are you being able to see the screen?
Yes, it's visible, sir.
I'm signing in to my cloud. I will go to my. I will use a service called EC2. And I'm in the. I will shift over to a Singapore region where I have created one EC2. I will change over to my Singapore region. And we will go to the instances. Because of this video and the audio and this Teams going on, so it is getting a bit of slow in processing. So I have already created one server in the very initial stage. I have created a server. I have installed Terraform as well as I have installed Ansible. So I will use this particular server. Let me start this server. This is a very small server, T2 micro. We have already created that. And this is going to start now. First of all, I will connect to this server. Let it start. I will connect it from outside. Okay. So this is running now. I will use the public IP address. I will go to my putty because I'm in my Windows laptop and I will use this particular session. I will load it and I will change my IP address, the public IP address, and you can check that this particular session I am connecting to the credentials with devops.ppk because this is using the key pair called DevOps. So, and everything is fine. I can save this and open this. So basically I'm getting connected to this particular server from outside. Uh, so I am in this server. So what I will do, we have created this Terraform, right? We have already covered this session, but I will today I will again create an instance. So what I will do, I will create a second server or basically uh, the host in the same region. I'm making use of the same region. So I'm going to use Terraform. So basically by Terraform, all the plugins and everything has been installed. I'm ready with my scripts. These are my script. So I will create the security group. I will create after that, I will create my EC2 instance. So all these things I have discussed. I will not go into another discussion on this. So let me say Terraform. Let me validate Terraform validate. Okay. I would like to see whether my scripts are all in correct format in syntax. So the configuration is valid. Next is I would like to make a plan to check what are the resources that I'm going to create. I'm going to create a security group, and then I will use that security group to create my EC2 instance. So two resources are going to be added. One is the security group. So now I will say Terraform apply auto approve. I'm saying please apply my Terraform scripts to create the two resources. One is the security group and the other one is the EC2 instance. Right now, I do not have a security group by the name, so I can go there in my security groups. I see I have other security groups, but I do not have anything which is related to the one. So what is the security group that I'm going to create? I'm going to create a security group by the name Terraform Internship or something like that. Let me check. Security group. Oh, VI security group. So I am creating a security group by the name Internship Server SG. Okay. I just wanted to. Do you find anything called by that name? Security group name? No. That will be created. And also, when I go back to my EC2, just go back like this. And you will see uh, there is not another server, just one internship server, which is my master server. Okay. So we will create that. What we will do, we will say Terraform apply auto approve. This will start giving me creating the, first of all, it is creating the security group. And after that, it is going to create the AWS instance, the EC2 instance. The security group is already created. Yeah, the two resources have been created. And if I go to my thing and if I refresh this, can you see that the internship server has been created? Oh, sorry. This is not, this is the new server Terraform. This is the name of the particular tag name of that new thing. This was created just now, T2 medium, and it is having the security group by the name internship server security group. This has been attached to this particular instance and the key name is DevOps. So if that is so, I can connect to it. So let me use the IP address, public IP address, and I will say, please connect to this new session. And this new session is using the same key pair. So I can use this. I will load this. Only I have to change the public IP address. I will open it. And you will see that I am now connecting to the newly created server. Just now I have created this server. And also you can see that this server is having, so I can go to the security groups. And right now, can you see that internship SG or internship server SG has been created? This was created just now. This has been created just now. See, it is managed by Terraform. This is, I did not give any description, so it is given the default description. So it is using the same VPC, the default VPC of that region. Okay, so this has been created through my Terraform script. Now let me go back. Can you see? I have already connected to this server. This is the server. And if you say host name CTL, you will see that this is what the internal or the private IP address is 172.31.7.2.1.1. If you just check 172.31.7.2.1.1. So we have connected to the correct machine. And if you see, this is T2 medium. The one that I have created from is T2 micro. This is a larger machine. Anyway, that's fine. Now, what I have done, I have also installed Ansible over here. So let me first go to the newly created server. Do you find sudo systemctl? I'm trying to check the status of Apache. Will you find anything on the new server? Did I install Apache? No, not yet.
No,
So
not yet.
not yet. So the service on this is a slave. So I can just say vi dot profile, and I can go to here and I will say ps1 equal to slave, or better to say not slave. Slave is not a very, it's not a very pleasant word. So host, and I'm giving pwd. So I am giving it a name as host. So the prompt will change. So what I will do, I will say source dot slash dot profile. You see, it has changed to this. Okay. And now what you can say, so, or another way to understand, if you say dpkg minus l grep, what is that? Apache 2. Do you find anything? No, it is right now, nothing is there. And remember one thing is .ssh. There is a file called authorized keys. So vi authorized keys. And what is there? It is only that from outside you can connect to this through the key pair called DevOps. And definitely that is the key pair. So from outside I have connected using this encrypted key. Okay, which is an SSH RSA encrypted, because this was the key attached to the host. But do you have any other keys? No. Okay, I keep it here. I need to connect to this slave or the host. I have already installed Ansible. So if you say Ansible version, you will see that Ansible core version 2.18.4. This is already been installed. Jinja version 3. Don't worry, I have installed Ansible because I don't want to waste my time over and your time to go for the installation and configuration. So Ansible is already installed. You will see I have also created one playbook. So if you go to this particular folder, you will see a playbook created. I will explain you the playbook. Okay. As I just now said that this is one playbook having only one play, because I have no other hosts. So I am connecting to a host by the name Ansible slave. So where do you expect this thing? Did I mention the IP address? Did I mention the domain name? Nothing. I have just given an alias name, Ansible slave. So where are you going to expect this? The details of that. So I need to connect to this particular uh, host. I have given this a name as Ansible slave. That's fine. But internally, I have to connect to the IP address of this particular machine. Either the private IP address, because there are two IP addresses. One is the public IP address, and the other one is the private IP address. Now, both is fine. I can connect through the public IP address or I can connect through the private IP address. Generally, this is a server to server connection. Okay, so either I can use public IP address or a private IP address. Where? My question is where? This is this information that whether you are using the public IP address or the private IP address, where I have to save it, store it. Where will this information be stored? Anyone? Where will I store this information? Whenever I will exit in the Vault. No. Vault is for security. But as I said, the Ansible has components. Ansible will look for inventory file. Ansible will look for modules. The playbook. Ansible will look for plugins. Basically, the modules will look for plugins. Ansible will also look for configuration file like ansible.cfg. Okay. Ansible will also look for what? Inventory modules, networking. If you have network, you can go for network files, networking modules. So this is a very vital information that it has to pick up, because first of all, it has to connect to the host. It has to connect to the host. This is the Ansible on the master server. So we are working on the master server. We are going to connect to the Ansible slave, or just this is an alias name. But where will it get this information, the IP address? Because it has to connect to the IP address, the public or the private, through the SSH connection. How? Can anybody help me? It will look into the inventory file. Now, what is the inventory by default? Anyone? Just now we have discussed. The inventory by default is it is there available under the Ansible, etc Ansible. The file name is hosts file. This is a defined, it's already defined. I have to go because I don't want to create a customized inventory file. I can, fine. But then I have to mention that file over here in the configuration. So I have to say inventory equal to the path, say wherever I have kept it. Let's say I have kept it under my home. So home, Ubuntu, and let's say I have given it a name as inventory.ini. So what is the name? Inventory.ini. I don't want to go into that path. I have, this is a host file already defined for me. I will put in some information over here. I will modify this file. This will become my inventory file. So whenever I will run this playbook, it will go and check this information, this Ansible slave, where? In my inventory file called hosts. Is that part clear? Then I will say become yes. As you know, I want to become a root user. I want to using the method sudo because basically I am a user called Ubuntu. I'm working as an user Ubuntu. Okay. So I want to become a root user. And my name of this play is whatever the play. This is the play name. Playbook to install Apache Web Server. Tasks. What are the tasks? There are 3 tasks. 1, 2, 3. The name of the task is update the apt package repository or Ansible slave. So I'm using, what is this? Can anybody tell me what is this? This is a key, but what actually is the purpose of this key? What is this key called? This is the module that you are calling a module. This is a module by the name apt. Because why apt? Because this is the package manager for a Debian host, which is called Ubuntu. Because this is my Ubuntu server. So I will be using not yum, because yum will be used for a Red Hat machine. I will be using apt. Update cache. It is like you are running a command called sudo apt update. It is as simple as that. Instead of running this as a raw command, shell command, I'm using the module because these modules are faster than if you run the commands, shell commands. Apt is much more faster than this particular command if you execute directly from the playbook. So update cache, yes. Another task, install Apache software, Apache 2 on Ansible slave. This is the name of the task. What is the module? Module is again apt. What is the name of the software that you are going to? These are the parameters under APT or properties. Name Apache 2 is the software. And what is the version is the latest version. State. Another task, you want to start the Apache service. This is the name of the task. This is, can anybody tell me what is this? This is what? Like apt, this is also a module, right? You are calling a module by the name service. What it does, it will make the Apache server, which has been installed in the previous step or task, it will get started. It will start the service. Any doubts? But before that, I have to make the modification under the hosts. Why? Because I have to configure this as with whatever the IP address. Otherwise, it will not work. Any questions you have? Any questions you have? Anyone? No questions, right? So let me proceed. So what we will have to do is, I know there are not many people around, okay, but let us complete this. So I have done this, and the next important thing is I would like to check using Ansible ping, whether I can go to this server, connect to this server. Otherwise, I will not be able to do anything. So Ansible, let me clear the screen. So Ansible -m module. What is the module? Ping. And what is the IP address of this? So the public IP address of the new server Terraform is this one. So I'm saying this. Will it connect? What do you think? Will it ping? So it is giving a warning, could not match the supplied host pattern. It will ignore. So it is not an error, but it is not finding where to match. You have not mentioned anywhere in any inventory file. So let me do that. Where? Where? So I will say sudo vi. Why sudo? Because that Ansible host file is created through root. Ansible is installed as a root. And what is the file name? Hosts. And you see, I have defined Ansible-slave because that is what I have put in my playbook. But what is the Ansible host? What is the IP address? So I will put it this value. Now I can use it. So if I say Ansible ping, I do not need to remember because I have just given an alias name. I'm very bad in remembering numbers. So IP address is a big number. I cannot remember all this. I have given an alias name. What is the alias name? Ansible slave. So just ping it. So it is not being able to connect to it because there is a public key denial, permission denied. There is no public key to carry you and authenticate you onto that server. You have given the correct IP address, no doubt, but there is no public key authentication. So let us create a public key. Where you are going to create the public key? You have to create the public key on the master. You have to do it on the master. So the public key has to be defined or generated on master, not on the slave. Not on the slave. Okay, so there is within the suite of SSH Open SSH, and there is a utility called SSH keygen. You press enter, and it is generating a public or a private ED25519. This is a encryption logic, encryption key pair. So there is a logic algorithm which will enable to encrypt my public or private key. This is the name. I can change that name, but let it be. I am not going to change the name. And I am not going to protect it with a passphrase. No password needed. So it has generated a SSH keygen. Okay. Where did it generate? There is a .ssh folder. I will teach all these things in my main course. There is no scope to teach all these things over here. But you remember there is a hidden file, a hidden folder called .ssh, and there was only one authorized keys because that is needed to connect from outside. So that is what I have used. But this I have generated. This is the private and this is the public key. And what I will do, I will cat this, and I will take this entire public key. I will copy this and put it in the authorized key file So vi authorized keys file, if this is in the slave, I will put it over here so that my master can connect to this. So this is the key. So there will be a handshaking between the master, because the key was generated on the master, and the slave also has this authentication key. Like it had the authentication key by the name DevOps. Similarly, it has the authentication key which was generated on the, this is the IP address of the master. This was a key generated. This is the key actually. This is the key generated on the master server. So the slave has now this particular key. So it can be authenticated. I will save this and come out. So if you see that can you see it is only read-write permission for Ubuntu. No other user can have access to this authorized keys, because you will be logging as an Ubuntu user. Is that clear? Now I will go back. So there is another utility called SSH copy ID. Now I didn't show you this because I just manually copied this particular key into the, but if you had used this and connected to that slave, it would also have done the same thing. It will put this particular key into the authorized keys file, but that's out of scope. Anyway, I have done it manually. Now let us use the same command ping to check whether now this is able to connect to this Ansible slave. Oh yes, it is a success. And it is always pinging and bringing out a fact that it has discovered there is the interpreter Python on the slave. So let me go and check. Yes, because Ubuntu directly comes with Python 3 version. You will see Python is already installed when I have created this particular EC2 instance through my Terraform script. Python is automatically comes with the AMI called Ubuntu. Fine. Any doubts? So we have made and established a connection between my master and the slave through the module called ping. I can check that. So it has pinged and the result is pong. That means it is saying that it is success. Now, if that is done, so I will again go to I am on the master. And here is my playbook. If I go and check the playbook, is my host by the name Ansible slave, Ansible-slave? And yes, it is working and is getting connected. So we will see that it will connect to this Ansible slave, and then it will assume a role of root, and then it will install, first of all, update the repository, then install Apache, then will make the Apache service started. These are the 3 tasks after it has got connected. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do now. So initially, I will say again, I can go back to check there is no package called Apache. And there is no service. So Apache is not yet installed. So with this information, now I go back to my master and I will say Ansible playbook. This is the command. And first of all, my playbook is playbook1.yaml. And I will first of all check the syntax of my syntax check. I would like to check the syntax of my whatever the playbooks and roles and whatever thing. It is not giving anything in red. That means this is correct. There is no error. if I introduce some error, because uh, if you, let's say, I have given this task in this level, okay, it should maintain a particular indentation. It's a YAML file. So is this correct? Let me check. So I will again go and check with the syntax. But this is an error. It is saying that I cannot, this is not a perfect YAML format. You have done something wrong. So the offending is this particular task. This should not appear here. So the offending line appears to be under this as tasks. So what I do, I understand that I have done a mistake. I will go to this and I will put it under the in the same level as your hosts, become method, become user, name, and under name tasks. Okay. Now again, I will check syntax. It's correct. I will now try to play. Now this is the main part. What I'm doing, I'm executing my playbook. Let's see. So it is going to connect to the newly created server. With the server was created through Terraform. Okay, it will connect to that server and make all those, execute those three tasks. One is to update the repository. The second is to install the Apache 2 web server. And the third is to start the server, the service. So let's do it. So it is saying that you are doing the playbook. The play name is playbook to install Apache web server. It is doing the task. Okay, Ansible slave. So it has been able to connect to that Ansible slave. No issues. So the first thing is green, gathering the facts. Now the first task, update the app package repository on Ansible slave. So it is updating. It is doing the sudo app update through that module app. It will take a bit of time. So this is changed. So every change will be some yellow. Yellow means it has done exactly the change that you have desired. Ansible slave, on the Ansible slave. It is working on the slave because it has connected to that slave. Now it is installing, the task name is install Apache software, Apache 2 on Ansible server. This is the task name. So it is installing Apache. So it has done, it has changed, it has installed on the Ansible slave, the Apache, and it has started the service, Apache 2 service on the Ansible slave. So it has done all these 4 tasks, 3 tasks, and 1 task is to connect. So in all, there are 4 tasks, out of which there are 2 changes. One is to update the repository and the other one is to install the Apache service. So let's go and I will check my slave or the host. Can you see that it is now the Apache HTTP server is running. It is active and running. Or if you say dpkg, you want to check the list of Apache. Yes, Apache 2 has been installed. Apache HTTP server, Apache, and all these things. Okay, so with all the utility. And therefore, if I go to this and if I use this and go to say this and colon 80, because HTTP, it works on the port 80 on the default port. So can you see Apache 2, because the Apache web server is running. If I stop the Apache server, so how do you stop that? Systemctl stop Apache 2. I have stopped it. Okay. Now, if I again refresh it, will I be able to connect it? Because the server is not there. So unable to connect. Now I again restart it. It has started. You can check that. It has started. So now you refresh it. Yes. Okay. So this is the welcome page or the index page of Apache 2. So what did you do? You have seen that you have created through the Terraform, you have created this server with the security group. This server was created with Terraform with the security group created. And after that, Ansible was able to connect to this server and updated the repository and then installed the Apache 2 server, and then it started up the service. And you were able to look into this from outside, connect to this from outside. So this is all. The one thing, I do not want to keep my servers running. So whatever I have created through Terraform, I can do what? I will go back to Terraform and I will say, because my state file is there, local state file, and it is saying that you have two resources. I would like to use Terraform and destroy the resources. It will ask for me for confirmation. I could have said auto approve. So it is saying, yes, I want to proceed. So, so what it does, it is destroying the server AWS instance. It will take a bit of time. It may take 40, 50 seconds. Let's see. Because it is a bigger machine, as well as it has, right now it has Apache installed. So it will take a bit of time. It has destroyed. So that means you go there, it will not work. Definitely the server is not there at all. You see, if I go to this, the remote side unexpectedly caused network operation because the server is down. So I have to close this. And it will also not being able to find the server. It is not that it is not finding the Apache service. It is not, it is taking a bit of time because it is trying retries. There are several retries to get the server, but it is not being able to get the server because it has been terminated. The connection has timed out. You go to your services, you refresh the page, and you see this one has been terminated. It has been destroyed by Terraform. And also, if you go to your security or security groups and refresh the page, are you finding that your security group? No, it is not there because it has been destroyed by Terraform. So this is all that I wanted to demonstrate to you. The combination of Terraform and Ansible is a lethal combination in DevOps. So the next session or the next week, we are going to discuss. I will take up Docker. Okay, we'll start Docker. So thank you very much. I know
Thank you,
there
Mr.
are lot.
Devashish.
Yes, yeah.
So, guys, if you have any question, uh, you can ask, or I think it is already little late. And thank you for joining.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a Saturday evening, and I know it is quite uh, deep in the night in India.
We do have a
And
group. Good night. We do have a group. Feel free to ask the question. And thank you very much, Mr. Devashish.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Einstein. Thank you. Wish you all the best.
Thank you. Good
Indeed.
night, sir.
Good
Good
night.
night. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.